Dude, the weather here today, it says it's 45 degrees and it feels like 35. But it doesn't feel like that at all, right? That's what the app says though, the weather app. So weird.
We're having a great start to our little stormy day where we just took a ride and we got pulled over by the cops and it was really awesome.
Yeah, it was great weather to be pulled over by the cops and stand outside. The cops were actually kind of bummed because they said they were trying to not find something wrong with what we were doing. They were like, I really didn't want to get out of my car right now and stand in the rain. But welcome to my garage. This is the place where I kind of do all my STORMRIDERS shit right here. Everything that I ship out comes straight from here. And I do most of the printing, heat transfer stuff right here as well. Got the wallets that are out now. These are made in the USA. I really like the quality and I'm really stoked on them. These are cool. Just a basic black hoodie. Got a little arm print on there. But this graphic was made by Nick Resty, who's just one of my favorite bike builders and a great guy. So if you're wondering where that comes from, he made it and always been happy with it.
Ooh la la.
Yeah, so this is like my tried and true bike that I've had for I think like 10 years. It's had a couple different iterations. I rode it in the swing arm frame originally for like a really long time just because I liked it. It's a 1972 motor. Okay. And for the previous few years, I had it set up completely different. I had it more of like a kind of 60s style, big apes, big sissy bar, split tanks, completely different from this. And that's actually my favorite style probably, is that like really big, high knees, high bars. But for riding in our area, this setup just makes a lot more sense. And after I did the trip last year, the big like coast to coast trip with it set up the old way. Okay. And I really enjoyed it. It was fun. But when I got back, like literally the day after I got back home, I tore the whole thing down to the frame and I was like, it's time for something different.
Well, were you like super sore having your arms up like that the whole time?
You know,
or it wasn't that as bad as you think?
It wasn't as bad as people think it is because I was so used to that. But I got really good at throttling with my left hand. Like I would just take my right hand off and then throttle with my left.
Rest it a little bit.
Yeah, give it a little break. But after that trip, when I got home, I really felt like it's almost a bookend for that bike. I was like, it's done. I did what I wanted to do with it. It's time to do something different. So I got that Scat tank. This is a pretty cool tank. They're kind of like to me, they look like a mix between a Wassel and a Sportster tank. Yeah. They just look different than a stock Sportster tank. This one's cool because it doesn't have the hole for the ignition. So you get a lot of fuel capacity out of it. And then just went 6 over, did like a tall 19 rear. And it's just set up a lot better for riding in NorCal, I think. This is just more of that style. A nice wide glide with mild extensions, like not super long. So it's just really stout and you can still turn really well. And you know, because right here we have mountain roads everywhere. We've got hills. It just suits the area much better set up like this.
Well, where you are literally, you have lots of little windy roads just
totally
5 minutes away.
Totally. And when it was set up the other way, which I really liked, but I would scrape the ground every time I would make a right turn. Like my pipe would scrape so low, so it just was really annoying. Like I couldn't really get it in corners, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been good to me. I mean, this is like the bike that is probably the most meaningful to me, and I'll never get rid of it.
It's your baby.
It's my baby, and a lot of the things that are the most valuable to me aren't the cool, like really expensive, valuable things. Like I always just kind of find something that I like that works for me, and then it just becomes your favorite thing, you know?
Oh yeah, I mean, it's sentimental.
Sentimental value.
Like yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, I mean, how did you get into choppers, or did you even start with choppers, or were you riding something else before?
So I did. The chopper thing was the first thing I saw, and I've never I've never known anything else or done anything else. And not even really choppers, but old Harleys.
Yeah.
That was kind of the first thing that I saw that I really related to. You know, so I think I was 21 when I moved to LA, and at that time I started seeing them out there around in the wild, like, you know, face to face. It was the first time I saw Harleys in a way that I felt like I could relate to, you know, because, you know, when the whole TV chopper early 2000s explosion thing was going on, I was like, I think probably like a freshman in high school when that was going on, like the OCC, the West Coast chopper thing, and like that did not grab me at all. Like I didn't even think twice about it. Like I wasn't interested.
Yeah.
You know, and then when I finally moved to LA, I started seeing kids like me riding old shitbox Harleys.
Yep.
And they were riding to the bar during the week together. They were going camping every weekend, and they were figuring it out and breaking down, and that was the way I saw it that really grabbed me.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I'm pretty big on, like, I think the things that you see in the beginning when you get into something have a really impactful way, and it shapes you how you kind of enjoy it later in life.
Yeah.
So for me, seeing it was always all about riding. That was it. It was like these kids were out there figuring it out. They're not super skilled or talented. They're not like doing super crazy out of reach things. They're just kind of normal guys in their garage. And when I saw that, I was like, that's what it is.
They're
that's
just
what
living the life.
Yeah, that's what it means for sure. And that's like today, that's still kind of how I am. Like, if I make it anywhere on this thing, it's pure luck. I'm a normal fucking dude with hand tools and a grinder, you know? So it's always really been about riding for me. And that's what jumped out at me. And today still, that's just the way I like to relate to it.
Yeah.
One of the things you learn is whenever you break down, you start with the easiest thing and work your way towards more difficult, you know, because you don't want to you don't want to do
the other way around.
The biggest thing that you have to do first, you know, like some guys, they'll like have a little problem, they'll hear something, they take the whole head off or some shit on the side of the road, and then they're like, oh, it was just my push rods or something, I need to adjust them. But that's stuff that you learn through experience, you know, like for the most part, I think the best way to learn is in real time. And, you know, I'm pretty lucky that I feel like I got to learn stuff that way. You know, there was like a really long time, I didn't even ride with anyone because I wanted to be confident in myself with the bike, and I didn't want to be a nuisance riding with other people, maybe who are more experienced. I wanted to kind of go through that myself and, you know, pay your dues and kind of work my way into it, you know?
I think it's usually safer that way too, like going at your own speed, your own pace, like
it is
your own adventure.
It is. And see, the thing about this, and like, I think what choppers and like old Harleys really taught me was really becoming, and I don't know if I could say this anymore, but becoming a man. Like it really had a lot to do with my development and learning self-confidence and learning to trust myself and my work and what I could do. Because the thing about bikes like this is if I put this whole thing together, if I'm riding with a pack of dudes and the wheel falls off and I kill myself or kill my friend or hurt someone, dude, that's on me. Like, I'm responsible for this bike. And there's a big responsibility that comes with that, you know?
And those things happen.
Yeah, they do happen. They do happen. And you can, you know, you forget when you do it all the time how dangerous it really is. You know, like the wreck that I got in on this bike, it was in that swing arm frame right there. And, you know, it was a situation where like, it probably wasn't even the smartest time to be riding. Like I was leaving my holiday party. I was like a IBEW in Nashville, a union electrician. I was leaving our holiday party there at a bar, and it was like it was Christmas time, and it was raining, and it was wet, and it was at night, and I was like riding home, and this kid in this U-Haul truck like tried to cross 4 lanes, like making a left turn, and I was going straight.
That's how it always seems to happen.
It's the most common way that motorcyclists crash is someone cuts them off and they can't stop fast enough.
Yeah.
So I didn't have a front brake and I just immediately like locked up the rear wheel and like slid. And I actually like jumped off the bike before I made contact. So luckily I didn't hit the U-Haul truck, but the bike did.
Yeah.
And then that was like a total shit show of an accident.
What was the damage on your body?
So I have a L4, L5 herniated disc, which still like fucks me today. Like it still hurts all the time.
I bet. The back is a really complicated part of the body.
Dude, it is. And you use it in everything. Like it will just, it's going to be there forever. You know, the mark on me is going to be there forever. But yeah, it was such a crazy time. Like they took me away in the ambulance before the cops even got there. Like the fire department and ambulance got there first. So I didn't even get to tell my side of the story of what happened on the accident. And the kid was like 24 and had no idea where he even was. He had like literally moved to town. Like he had just gotten to town.
Oh man.
So he didn't know street names. He didn't know anything.
Safe to say that kid was traumatized probably.
He probably was. He was probably like, he probably felt really bad, you
Yeah.
know? But there was so many errors on the police report when I got it, and I was like, "This is so fucked. Like, this is completely wrong. It looks like this is my fault. Like, they said I was going the wrong way on the street, like the opposite direction that I was actually going. So I had to like walk into the police station, and I was like, "Dude, you guys need to fix this. This whole thing's wrong."
Yeah.
And luckily, I had to talk to the fucking sergeant because the cop that did the police report was such a dick. And he was like one of those cops that you couldn't say.
Yeah.
He would never tell you he was wrong or made a mistake.
Well, it's like, what do they expect getting one person's side of the story? Of course they're going to try to make themselves like be in the better light. Like,
Yeah, no, totally. But the kid didn't even know. Like he wasn't trying
Yeah.
to do anything, you know? But I'm glad that that's like it was part of my growth and, you know, like it's over and in the past. But yeah that's...
And you got back on, and that's the most important part.
Yeah, no, totally. It's hard to walk away. It really is, you know, because I don't know if there's something wrong with people that are into this stuff. Like, it is. There is something wrong with people that are into this stuff because it is not easy to be into this, right? I mean, these things are super expensive. They're super temperamental. Like, you know, I try and convince my friends who aren't into this, who are like longtime friends. I'm like, oh yeah, you should get a chopper. Like we can ride together. It'll be fun. And they're like, dude, this does not look like fun at all. Like, are you serious? Like I have to do all this stuff. I have to get this expensive bike and then I have to break down all the time. Like that's not fun. But this bike, this one, when it was in that, it had those tanks on it. But me and my friend Jake rode out to the Congregation in North Carolina. That's a really cool show. And back, that was last year. And that was like one of those things that pretty much since I got into this stuff, I've wanted to do that ride, like the across America and back.
Yeah.
It seemed like the ultimate kind of test of how can you ride this bike? Are you connected to the bike? You know, and it's like a total fucking test of your mental strength and physical strength.
Oh yeah.
And the way there, we had such minimal problems, like basically just soft breakdowns, like easy shit that you can fix like in 5 minutes on the road and be back. We're like in Missouri. We're like, dude, this is easy. Like we fucking got this, man. Like no problem. And then the way back was like total fucking hell. Like it fought us the whole time.
That was from living here?
Yeah.
Did you have that moment when you were like way out there and you kind of like looked at the GPS and saw how far you were for home and were like, fuck, like
dude,
we made it here, but like we still got to go all the way back. Like
there were many moments like that. Like we rolled into Kansas City, Missouri at like 11 p.m. at night. Like we had ridden completely through Kansas in one day. We were like, we're not splitting this up. We're doing the whole fucking Kansas in one day because it's literally straight and flat. And there's nothing to look at. So we were like rolling through Kansas City, Missouri at night. Like it's all lit up, the city and everything. And I was just like, what the fuck are we doing out here on these bikes in Missouri in the middle of the night? Like this is fucking ridiculous. It was a great experience, and pretty much the worst breakdown we had was as far away as we could have been. Like we went after North Carolina or Charlotte. The day after the show, we were like, we're going to the fucking beach because we're already this far. We're like, we want to say that we went to the East Coast.
Yeah.
So we went out to Charleston, like had oysters and fucking oyster shots and shit. And then probably like 2 hours going back from Charleston, like my whole fucking charging system just died. And we were in the back of like, it died at a Piggly Wiggly in this really small town called Nieces, South Carolina. Yeah, they don't have those out here. No. But it was like 8 o'clock at night. It's dark. Like I took the whole fucking charging system apart. We were like testing everything. I brought like a bunch of backup parts, like regulators and stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, well, I guess we're fucking sleeping here tonight, like right here. So we just like rolled our bikes behind the Piggly Wiggly by the dumpsters, and we just like pulled them into the trees and just slept there that night.
Some real like mountain men shit, just adventuring.
Yeah. No, totally. But like the whole time we were down there, we were like kind of sketched out. We were like, dude, is someone gonna fuck with us? Like I'm kind of nervous. It's kind of like a tweaker town.
Unfamiliar territory. You literally don't know. Like,
right.
You don't know about like these specific neighborhoods and stuff unless you've been there before. So it's just kind of like
totally
sketchy.
And in small towns, people don't like strangers too.
Yeah,
you know. But
that's true.
But then we had the realization we are like two adult men sitting like I don't think anyone's gonna mess with us. Is the realization we had. We look kind of scary almost. You know, like we're all dirty and shit. We're like I think we're probably fine. So we just like drank a bunch of beers and
that's funny
and slept.
I'm just kind of like picturing like you guys all roughed up, like haven't showered in days, and you're just like sipping on oysters, like in some nice restaurant or something.
Dude, yeah, the restaurant was really nice actually.
They're probably looking at you guys like, you can afford to come in here or what? Like,
yeah, seriously, no.
Like, you guys look like you just came literally off the street.
Yeah, it was a Sunday too, so it was like Sunday brunch and shit. Like there were so many like well-dressed families after church, you know? Yeah. It's like, it's South Carolina, so you know, they're all going to church.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
that
was
funny.
Yeah, that was good, you know, and it was like, the thing with riding these bikes, I think to me is like, if you're the kind of person that when it's raining or when it's freezing cold or it's 110 degrees and you're miserable and you are broken down, if your first instinct is to laugh, that's the attitude you need to have. And that's like totally the people that I gravitate to. Like I really think you have to have that mindset to be able to ride these bikes the way that I like to ride them, which is just go on trips and shit. Yeah. You know, like you gotta be that person that just is like, yeah, well, I'm here, I'm having fun. I don't really give a shit what happens. You should sit on this, see what it feels like.
I will.
Yeah.
Let's see here. It's like, I have a really long torso, so like surprisingly enough, when I go on like tall people's bikes,
it works.
It works fine because my legs are short, but my torso is really long. So actually, like this is pretty good position.
I know this bar height actually looks pretty legit.
Yeah, because like if I'm always freaking slouching all the time, but if I actually like have good riding posture.
Yeah.
Thank you for having us in your lovely garage. It's very rad.
Thank you for coming. I really appreciate what you guys are doing, and I think it's cool to kind of take a look at all the people in this area.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of rad dudes here, a lot of awesome bikes, and people in NorCal, they fucking get down, dude. I love all the dudes that ride over here. They're amazing people and fun, super fun to ride with. And that's what it's all about in the end, is getting out there on the road with your buddies and making memories.
And getting pulled over by cops.
Yeah. Hopefully not.
All right, guys, stay tuned for next time, and we'll be back with another cool video.